Hey everyone, this is Jared. I've been using and reviewing the iPhone 7 as my daily driver for a little over 2 weeks now, and I've reluctantly been enjoying my overall experience so far, but let's face it, we all know I've got some pros and cons here, so let's start with the design. Well, for starters, I've always enjoyed the iPhone Slim design, and that's still present here. Love the high-grade aluminum, and especially love the new matte black look, which is awesome at hiding those antenna lines. But like many others keep repeating year after year, we're all looking for a design change a little more drastic than moving the antenna lines. I think it feels great in the hand, and while I've heard people saying the matte black is slippery, my response to that is, you mean more slippery than any flagship phone Samsung's released in the past 2 years? Anyways, the physical home button's been tossed aside and replaced with a capacitive button and a strong haptic engine, or as Apple calls it, a taptic engine. I still think they went kind of Disney on the name, but whatever. I think it's awesome, and personally, I think it feels like a real physical button press, so no complaints from me. But the thing is, Apple's removed swipe to unlock, and I know a lot of people prefer not having to enter a PIN or a pattern or a fingerprint to unlock their device for one reason or another, so that's just something to think about. Anyways, thanks to iOS 10, with the new Raise to Wake feature, as soon as I pull the phone out of my pocket, it lights up, and then I'm presented with some notifications on the lock screen, which is also a newly added feature, some of which I can interact with thanks to the included Force Touch display, which for a habitual Android user made the device seem a lot more pleasant and useful. But once unlocked, the 4.7-inch display with an irritating resolution of 1334 by 750 lights up nicely. And I'll admit, Apple's IPS displays really are nice displays, and on the iPhone 7, text looks really crisp for that resolution, and the IPS panels on the new iPhone 7 and 7 Plus have been updated with better colors and more brightness. But here's the thing, watching online content from Netflix to YouTube, as well as trying to enjoy the high-resolution photos that this device's own camera takes, I can't say I've been satisfied with the image quality, and it's really been bugging me. Why in 2016 does Apple still include less than full HD displays for a device with a price tag not too far off of Samsung's Galaxy S7, which offers a display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 on an arguably prettier Super AMOLED display? I'll never understand. However, if that isn't an issue for you, then you'll probably love that Apple's included an additional speaker located in the same place as the in-call speaker. Does it compare to pretty much any current Android flagship device with a dual speaker setup? No, but it does sound nice. Just needs to get a bit louder with a tad more range. And since Apple's removed the headphones port, unless you prefer using Bluetooth headphones, have a new pair of Lightning connector headphones, or don't mind remembering to carry around the included adapter, you'll be putting that new dual speaker setup to good use. Performance has been just fine, no real complaints that I can't blame either on the app I'm using at the time or a new OS version that still needs just a few bugs worked out. But I mean, based on what I've seen so far with web page loading times, app loading times, and so on, not to mention with a grain of salt and all that benchmark scores, it's an extremely capable device. And I don't know if this is because of the software optimizations or how the new CPU manages power consumption, but for such a small battery capacity of 1960 milliamp hours, I was actually really quite impressed. I did have some issues with Bluetooth draining the battery faster than I've ever seen on any phone before, but as soon as I turned it off, the standby time was amazing. Testing while using it heavily, I was only just able to drain it after a full day late into the evening. When moderately used, it lasted until about 10 a.m. the next morning, and when lightly used, I only just plugged it in before I went to bed the following day after a full charge with about 15% left. Now, I don't know what voodoo that is, but I can only imagine the kind of battery life I'm gonna get from the 2900 milliamp hour battery on the iPhone 7 Plus that I'm about to start working on a review for. Cameras on iPhones have always, for the most part, especially in the past couple of years, produced very pleasing images, and in no way has that changed with the iPhone 7. Colors seem to have had an improvement with a little more saturation, so pictures are punchy, and I feel like the white balance has been tuned a little more accurately, with last year's iPhone pushing more towards the warm side, whereas now it seems quite a bit more balanced. And Apple says the new 12 megapixel camera on both the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus have improved low light capabilities. So can it perform well in low light? Yes, but it can also suck. Does the addition of optical image stabilization help? It sure does, but no more than any other smartphone camera with decent low light performance, and optical image stabilization. I mean, let's face it, low light's a bitch. And finally, the last feature I wanted to bring up was the IP67 dust and water resistance, something that not every phone manufacturer has adopted yet. So I was really pleased to see that Apple was among the few to add that sort of logical next step in smartphone build quality as we move forward. Now, we just gotta wait for them to finally include displays with resolutions above 750 and 1080p. Look, it's a good phone, but I feel like it's mismatched. You've got this phone with great performance, great battery life, wicked build quality, and an awesome camera, but in 2016, I have a really hard time justifying the cost of the iPhone 7 when it comes with a display that has a resolution akin to 2014. That being said, I have a different opinion on the matter when it comes to its bigger brother, the 7 Plus, so keep an eye out for that video. Big thanks to Evolutive Labs for sponsoring this video and providing me with the Rhino Shield Crash Guard bumper case for the iPhone 7, which comes in 14 different colors and provides amazing protection against drops with a minimal footprint. And when paired with both the screen and back protectors, it's supposedly a nearly indestructible combo, one of which I'll be personally testing with a drop test video coming very soon. But in the meantime, you can hit up the link in the description below to pre-order yours now. Anyways, I think that about covers all the important bits, at least the bits I care about, but I'd love to know what you thought. Do you agree or disagree with any parts of my review? So drop me a comment down below and hit up that like button if you liked the video. And if you'd like to see more videos from me every week, don't forget to hit up that subscribe button too. But thanks as always for watching, and I'll talk to you all in the next one. Cheers.